This video is for the working musicians out there. My name is Cody. I play and perform anywhere from 2 to 4 times a week here in East Tennessee and Western North Carolina. And I do all my booking myself and I do all my promotional material. So if you are out there already playing solo shows, or maybe you're playing with a band, or maybe you're just aspiring to do so, I've got 5 tips here that's going to help you out. It's going to save you money, and this is all based off my personal experience. Okay, so tip number 1, start an LLC. This is basically starting a business. It's not basically, it's exactly starting a business. And I'm no accountant, but what this does is going to help save you on your taxes. You're going to be able to write off equipment that you use to make your gigs happen, whether that be strings, whether it be repairs. You can write that all off, and you can do that on like your regular, name basis on your IRS tax form or whatever, but this makes it easier and you're going to save money. Also, when you communicate with business owners, with perhaps even brands that you're wanting to work with if you're on the internet, this is going to make them take you that much more seriously, because running a show or playing music, you are a business owner. Whether you know it or not, this is running a business. You have to sell yourself to wherever you're performing. You have to make sure that they know what they're getting. And so that is like business 101. And you have to keep up with your books and everything, which is the part that I hate. But start an LLC. It's going to save you money, and it's also probably going to make you look that much more legit. All right. Number 2 is talking about marketing. Actually, the next couple are going to be talking about marketing. But the second point I want to make here is, if you are a musician, you're booking shows, you're putting yourself out there, you're on social media, go and take some kind of crash course in marketing, and especially focus on copywriting, all right? Copywriting essentially is writing ads, okay? Now, that's a broad sort of stroke of the brush, but effectively what you want to do is be able to write in a way where whoever you're communicating with knows that they're getting something in return, okay? When it comes to marketing, there's so much about, what goes into that. It's all, confusing. It's all overwhelming, but I really, really feel what's helped me out is just learning the basics, like the basics of graphic design, getting a subscription to a tool called Canva. That way you can just shoot out promotional material without even thinking about it. They've got tons of templates on that site, on that app. It's great. There's just so much that goes into the marketing, but it's really, really important to wrap your head around and reframe perhaps your way of thinking as to how you should market yourself. Because I see the problem with so many musicians. Like, I'm in East Tennessee, around the greater Knoxville area, and I'm trying to go out and make money playing music. And so I definitely do my research on the competitors in this area. And it's really kind of sad to see other musicians just communicate in the way they communicate. So if you are trying to get shows booked, or just as a way to approach this, if you're writing in a way where it mentions things about you, you've got to change that. So the way that I approach all my marketing material is, I market it. It's meant to give the business something, right? So I won't say, hey, I've been playing music for 15 years, or hey, I do this, I do that. I might slip that in subtly in my messaging, but overall it's like, hey, you are getting entertainment for the evening. Your guests are going to be appreciative. It's going to be high energy, and your reputation is going to be better, and they're going to keep coming back because they know that you invest in quality entertainment. That is sort of the way that I'd approach it, or how I'd, bulletin it out. But that's a big mistake that I see, is just musicians don't exactly know how to approach this. And I would say the best approach would just be to learn. There's tons of free stuff on YouTube. There's paid courses you can take, but definitely take some kind of marketing crash course. That way you understand how you should be approaching businesses that you want to play at, or businesses you want to work at, festivals you want to get booked at, whatever it might be. That's going to carry its weight in gold. Number 3, video. All right. I have really started making a shift the past couple months into not even worrying so much about, ironically speaking, the copy that I just told you about. I will use the copy, but kind of script it out, or I'll have, a couple different scripts depending on where I'm trying to get booked at. And I will just pull out my phone or pull out the iPad. I think my watch even has a camera on it, and just record a personal message that I can just send them in a DM. That way they know I'm a real person. that I'm interested in helping their business, and that I'm connecting with the pain points of that business, okay? It's a powerful tool. Like when you're right there in front of the person, the video is gonna stand out. And so I've just been putting that into a lot of my communication, and I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. People are saying, hey, thanks for the video. It's like, nice to meet you. Really simple, like doesn't take that much time, all right? So experiment with that, not only in booking places, but also if you're a working musician, if you're trying to book lessons, if you're trying to sell products, just make a video. People really appreciate that personal connection, all right? The fourth point I'm gonna make here is spend money. Spend money on equipment that is not going to break, all right? I've been bad about this my entire life. I will tend to go for like the cheaper option, and sometimes that works out for me great, but other times I'm just replacing whatever that might be down the road, and then it's an annoying expenditure to have. It cuts into your margins. And so I'm talking about things, for example, like microphone stands. Microphone stands are notorious for just falling apart and not working, despite the fact that they're all gonna run you, a hefty penny. But just spend the $30, $40 extra, buy something that's not gonna fall apart, because if you get to a gig, like I did a couple weeks ago, and that microphone stand falls apart, that could spell disaster, right? And if you're under a contract to provide entertainment, the whole thing goes down because of a faulty microphone stand, or whatever it might be, a speaker stand, or even like the adapter, the AC adapter that powers the mixing board, things like that, right? That's where you want to invest the extra money in the product, because something that fails when you're, starting a gig, or maybe in the middle of a gig, I'm sure that most business owners would, be understanding, but for the most part, like, you're trying to be professional, so you want everything to be working. And I always ask people tell people that ask me, what's the most nerve-wracking part of what you do? Because I'm outperforming a lot. It's like, it's not even the performance. It is getting the equipment from point A to point B, not forgetting any of that equipment, and then plugging everything up, getting the sound right in the room, and making it sound halfway decent. But really, the big thing is just like everything working, everything charged. The more I add to my rig, like the more complicated it gets, the longer my checklist gets. And so what I don't want to have happen is to have to deal with a bunch of crap Temu products that don't work when I get to the gig. All right, so invest the money, spend the bit extra, and make sure that you've got equipment that is going to work. Buy the warranty if they've got it. It's your business, so you got to think about these things. And number 5 here on my list is to just not be afraid of rejection. You're going to get no responses back from places. Some places are going to say that it's not their thing, or they don't have the budget, or what have you, but you're going to get told no, and that's okay. I just go back to the drawing board and I think of, what sort of elements can I improve? Is it my price? Is it the style of music? Do I even need to worry about trying to get booked in this place? Because that's a big element of it too. Kind of going on a tangent here, but no two bookings are the same, I've learned, all right? So you might have a business owner or a place that pays, this amount of money, and other places that pay more, but the one that pays less is just easier to get along with. It's less stressful. Maybe it's closer to home. And so the way that I view it, like, I'd rather play at that establishment rather than go to the other place where I'm getting paid marginally more, but it's not as fun, and you're under more pressure, and the clientele maybe is, kind of pretentious, or they're just not paying attention, or what have you. There's just a lot of factors that go into all of this, all right? So I will finish my tangent there. Just, don't be afraid of rejection. Spend the money on equipment that's going to last. Make sure that you have at least a core understanding of how to market yourself. That is oh so important. Very, very important. I think that in itself is what has brought in like a lot of my bookings in the past year or so, is just, learning how to use colors on the graphics, learning, the right thing to say in that first couple seconds of the video, or in the first couple lines of the communication, whatever it is, an email or what have you. Very, very important. Don't sleep on the communication, on the marketing, all of that. And hope this was helpful, folks. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.